Hi everyone. I'm going to be talking about this whole phenomena of filling up our void, or in a very layman's perspective, I would call it emotional begging. So, when you look at us human beings, ever since we were kids, in a certain way, we are all emotionally begging in our relationships. Constantly, we are seeking approval from others. Constantly, we're seeking love and validation. And when we feel deprived of it, and when those needs of us are not met, we somewhere feel needs sucked and get very reactive because our brain perceives a very threat mode that it's going to be very difficult for us to survive without love. So, when you understand the human design, it's very important to understand the foundation on which the human design is standing. The first foundation is love and belongingness and connection. Everything about our being, everything about our universe is about connection. And when we talk about connection in a very simple term, I would like to say connection and love is the glue that bonds the atoms and the molecules that create solidity in our physical environment. Oh, that sounds heavy, right? Okay. In a very simple context, love is the glue that keeps us all connected and keeps us connected to our own soul or our own being inside. But as when we are growing up and as a small child, when you were born with this whole need of being connected to your world and your caregivers. And the core ingredients of the human being is nurturing and love and belongingness. And we never get it in our environment through our parents the way we want it or the way we were meant to have it. So we grew up with this whole void, and we just believe somewhere subconsciously that till somebody does not come and fill up that void, we are not going to be belonged, and we're going to be isolated and we're lonely. So interdependency is the core ingredient of human foundation, and we were not born to be an independent species. So this whole thing about the loneliness, the lonely syndrome, puts us in a very threat mode, and then we're constantly seeking validation and approval from our outer environment. And we experience a void within us, and this takes us into this whole aspect of emotional begging, and then we attract the wrong relationships because when you understand attraction, we are attracting the same kind of people with the same frequency as ours. So if you have an emotional void, you will end up attracting a person with the same emotional void. And now what happens is now you'll have two emotional beggars in a certain relationship seeking love and approval from each other, and none of you will have enough to give it. So then how does one actually fulfill this void, and what does one do? It's very simple to understand, my dear friends, that we did not come here to get love from people. We came here to love our own selves. And this void that we're all seeking to fulfill from other people cannot be filled with anybody else stepping into your world. It is your responsibility and your job to fill up your own void. So what does that mean? It simply means that it is your job to love yourself. Now, there's a very thin line difference between self-obsession and self-love. Self-obsession is from a space when you function from a superiority complex and you degrade other people and put them down, which means that it's more like I am up above everybody else, and you're constantly comparing and judging everybody else who's not at your level. That's called self-obsession. And true self-love is when you actually go within through various tools and techniques like meditation, therapy work, regression, and you find a piece of God or that yummy space of that God vibration, or that your soul space, and you realize that you are nothing but a space of unconditional love. And then you identify the same piece of God in everybody else. That's what is true self-love, where you don't make yourself feel small by comparing yourself to other people. When you make up mistakes, it's okay, and you allow yourselves and you to be in those mistakes, and you allow yourself to learn from your mistakes and not repeat them. After all, life is a journey, and it's a gradual journey of growth and learnings, and we all came here to learn our lessons. And the lesson is very simple: learning to unconditionally love and accept ourselves, and learning to love and unconditionally accept every single human being on the planet, because we're all a source of the same creator, and we all come from a single source. And when you look at it from the perspective of quantum physics, we're all a manifestation of a single atom, and expressing ourselves in different realities. And it's very, very important for us to identify that. And this can only be identified when we understand the significance of going within ourselves. You're never going to find yourself inside someone else. You're never going to find a piece of your broken self somewhere out there. All of it is within you. And the ultimate objective of your journey on this planet was to go within you and find yourself back, integrate all of those fragmented pieces of your soul that you left in your entire lifetimes back into your soul, and become perfect, whole and complete. And when we talk about perfect, whole and complete, it really does not mean being perfect in terms of perfection. It simply means being healed in every aspect of your being, because when you understand the human soul, it is diabolic. It is both the black and the white. It is the sinner and the saint. It is the positive and the negative. And only in the duality will you find your singularity back. So, my dear friends, rather than focusing your attention on the outside world, rather than focusing all of your attention on why people behave the way they behave, my invitation to each one of you is go within yourself and ask yourself, what can I do to become a better person? What can I do to upgrade my soul? What can I do to step up into more self-love, self-kindness, and self-compassion? Because when you are being all of these vibrations, it is going to be so automatic for you to love and accept everybody else. Until you don't love and accept yourself, until you're not compassionate to your own self, you'll never learn what true compassion is, and you'll never learn to give it away to others. So it's not people's job to fill up your void. It's not people's job to love you. It's not people's job to stand up for you or support you. God gave you a brilliant, beautiful heart so that you could love yourself. God gave you brilliant, beautiful two legs so that you could stand up for yourself. We are the only species who have self-expression and communication in our world. So God gave us a beautiful ability to communicate so that we could express ourselves and let people know what we don't endorse and what we want to stand up for. And we have a lovely spine to support ourselves. So understand the objective of life and get committed to your own soul's journey and upgrade yourself to be the most impeccable version of yourself. Give out love, and trust me, it's all going to come back to you so multiplied. Yeah, people are going to be doing negative stuff to you, and that's okay. That's about them. You don't have to really take it on you personally, because the way anybody behaves is really not about you, it's about them. So these people, in fact, need more love, kindness, and care. Can you be the one? Can you be the source energy? But to be the source of love and compassion, first, it's important for you to go within and dive into that ocean of infinite love that you carry within your beautiful, impeccable heart chakra, and pour out that love into everybody who's broken into your life, because everybody is seeking for love, care, and attention. Why would you not be the one to give it out completely? Have a great ending to 2018 and step into 2019, sending each one of you a lot of love vibrations. And I really hope and pray 2019 is going to be one of the best transformational years of your life.